Geno, these two rounds are usually pretty much a breeze, so much so that you tend to fall into a national conversation about running up the score and things like that. So having a different kind of experience tonight, the players spoke to this a little bit, but do you think there is some value moving forward in having to grind one out?
Well, it's the NCAA tournament. I mean, whether it's the men's NCAA tournament, the women's NCAA tournament, you watch enough basketball this past weekend, and teams that you think are supposed to blow out the other team doesn't always work out that way. It's the NCAA. It's not supposed to be easy. Matter of fact, during one timeout, I was trying to tell them that, in the 1998-99 season, we needed 2 free throws from Tamika Williams with like 2 seconds left to beat Xavier to go to the regionals. And, things are supposed to be that way in the NCAA tournament. You should be surprised when you beat somebody by 40 or 30 or 20. When Diana played and we won a national championship, we were down to TCU, and I think she had to get like 35 or something like that for us to win. So people obviously a lot of new fans don't remember that winning these games is not easy. It's a struggle, and it's supposed to be a struggle. And I told our players that. It's a struggle for a lot of different reasons, all of a sudden, shots that we make regularly, we don't make. Why? Because it's the NCAA tournament. We've been shooting 80-some% from the free throw line. Now, all of a sudden, free throws don't go in. It's the NCAA tournament, you play against another kid, and that kid goes, 4 for 100, but not in the NCAA tournament, and things that aren't fouls are fouls. Things that are fouls are not fouls. You just need to prepare. It's like prepare for everything, right? But expect anything. Prepare for everything. Obviously, you try to do that. But you got to expect the unexpected in the NCAA tournament. And, we had a lot of games this year that we had to play. We had to grind it out. We played a really good team. And the game reflected that no matter what the lead was, there was no they're going away and you can mail in the score whatever you want it to be. I think it was good. We learned a lot about ourselves tonight. It's a good night. It's a good night. Some things we learned I already knew. I don't like it, but somehow they keep popping up.
Down here, Coach.
Crystal struggled tonight.
Yeah.
Foul trouble and shooting and everything. So how do you think the team responded to that, and how do you think she's going to respond to that?
Well, I mean, what Megan shoot? 4 for 16 or something like that? And Crystal didn't have a good night. And Kristen had to sit a lot with fouls. So a lot of things popped up that, reminds us, as if we don't already know, it's a razor-thin margin that we operate with this year. And one game really doesn't define what you're going to be next game, We shot, we made 14 threes the other night. Basket looked like as big as a swimming pool. And you go, wow, this guy's shooting great. They're going to win by 100 on Sunday. And it's a whole different game. So what's going to happen next Friday when we play? I would think whatever happens we're going to deal with it. And Crystal's going to be better than she was today. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And Megan's going to shoot the ball better than she did today. And if they play like they played tonight, we're going to lose. We know that too. Or maybe we won't.
Down in front.
I'm curious what you thought about seeing Dillard come back out on the floor after minutes earlier she left unable to put weight on one of her legs.
Yeah. Obviously the kid's a tough kid, and she just makes everybody on her team so much better. She can score. She can find the right player at the right time. She's got an old school game to her, and really hard to guard. So I'm not surprised when she came back in. Kids like that, their senior year, they're not going to miss the NCAA tournament. That's just not going to happen. And she came in, and I guess she's like, well, I can't do the stuff I was doing because my ankle hurt, so I'll just pick out the shortest guy on their team, and it happened to be Crystal, and I'll post her butt up in the lane, and she did. And she was going to find a way to help her team somehow, some way. She's good. I like her. I like her game. I really do. I really like her game. But they're all a bunch of tough kids. She's got a nice team. She really does. No wonder she was so happy yesterday. She knew something nobody else did.
Yeah, right down here in front.
Geno, Jim Clark from Women's Hoops World. I asked this of the other coach as well. 46 fouls were called, and 7 kids were in foul, 4 greater fouls. When do you think the officiating is going to figure out that women? I'm not asking about today.
Yeah.
That when is the officiating going to figure out that women are actually strong enough to go through a touch on the hip?
Yeah, there was a lot of things that happened that I didn't quite get. More travel calls than I've seen in a long time. More hand checks than I've seen. More fouls that were kind of, maybe not. And I don't know that anybody wants to see a game like that. A game played that way. But the players have to be smarter too. Like if that's the way the game's going to be called, then you got to be smarter. And it just was hard to get into any kind of a flow, Like there was a whistle almost every single time down the floor. Like if a shot went up and somebody rebounded it and there wasn't a whistle, you were surprised. It just was that kind of a game, I like it when there's no fouls called. That helps our team. I don't care if they punch us. As long as they don't call a foul, I'm okay. It's better. Don't fight it out.
I have time for one more if anyone wants to take it. Yep, right in the middle there.
Who cares? Let them call their own fouls.
Pete Doherty, Albany Times. You mentioned a minute ago about Sierra being a senior and not wanting to go out.
Yeah.
You had your own with Katie Lou with the back issues. Was there ever any doubt that she would be able to make it back for the tournament? And did you have a plan B if she couldn't make it back?
There was never any doubt that she was going to play. I mean, we knew that. How much she was going to play, I was going to try to play it by ear. I think she played 22 minutes the other night. So tonight I said, well, she's going to play as long as she has to play. And I didn't have any intention of taking her out, but just in case, she came over during one free throw and stood next to me, and she said, in case you were wondering, like, I'm good. I'm not coming out. I said, all right, okay. Anything else you want to tell me that I should know? Plan B, if we didn't have her? No, there really wasn't a plan B. It was Lou's going to play. That's all there is to it. And if for some reason she wasn't going to play, then it's, 2 freshmen in the lineup and keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best. But, you got to play the hand that you're dealt. And right now this is what we've got. And Lou's feeling better every day. Thank God for FISA, I mean, who votes on these awards anyway? She's not a finalist for the Naismith Award, right? I mean, who voted on it? Dr. Naismith is rolling over in his grave right now. He is. He never envisioned that somebody that good would be left off his finalist. I feel bad for her. If she played at any other school, she'd be the front runner for it. Huh? With the numbers she puts up. But she plays at Connecticut, so what are you going to do? But you imagine how many games we win if we didn't have her? don't think we'd be sitting here talking. We probably wouldn't have made the tournament. I mean, you talk about who means a lot to their team. I don't know anybody means any more to their team anywhere in the country than Feast. Can't imagine. Can't imagine.